so maybe. I hope, like, I'd probably get it on the Switch, but...
Yeah, I'm glad I got a Switch. The Switch is a great system.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Yeah, I'm waiting to see it on sale somewhere so I can get it, but
Yeah.
haven't picked it up yet.
Well, I mean, what do you guys think of Skylanders Academy, the show?
I think you're right. I think it'll sort of take over. I've enjoyed the first 2 seasons, so, you know, I don't know. I guess it appeals to their demographic, which is, like, younger audience, so it kind of brings in, like, if there's just little kids on Netflix, it could bring in more people to the franchise, I guess.
My cousin has never heard of Skylanders before. She doesn't even know what Skylanders is. I told her to go watch Skylanders Academy. She watched it and she adored it. The thing is, though, is that when Skylanders Academy Season 1 came out, I was like, yeah, this is alright. It's better than what I was expecting. And then Season 2 came out, and Season 2 just blew me away. Season 2 was so much better than Season 1.
I didn't have Netflix when Season 1 came out, so I didn't see it until almost, like, 6 months after.
There was a lot of cringy moments in the first season.
Yeah, very.
There's some in the second season, but in the first season it's really bad for the cringiness, I guess.
Yeah, Season 2 takes itself a lot more seriously.
I probably wouldn't watch the show if I didn't know what Skylanders was, just because it doesn't, like, I don't know, I probably just wouldn't watch it. But...
Yeah, no, neither would I.
Yeah, I was never really a fan of a lot of their designs for the show, like Stealth Elf and Eruptor.
I love Stealth Elf design. I think Stealth Elf's design Academy is better than an actual figure.
And maybe, I think it's just because I'm used to her with the mask, maybe that's why.
Yeah, potentially.
Yeah, they just kind of had the cartoon eyes. Is that even a word?
Even if though I did love the finale to Season 2, though. The finale of Season 2 is one of the best finales of a show I've seen in a long while.
Yeah, it was something I wasn't expecting, I'll say that. Like,
yeah, I don't know if I was a big fan of it, because does this lore transfer over to the games? And
yeah, like, that's the thing, because if it's not canon, then I don't know.
Yeah, that's the big debate going around right now. Is Academy canon or is it not? I think it is canon, but it does create quite a few inconsistencies at points.
I thought Eric Rogers said that it wasn't canon or something.
It's probably not. You probably need to, like, bend the story a little bit in order to actually make it all fit. Because that's the thing, like, it's a similar thing with Transformers, because the aligned continuity is meant to combine, like, all of the newest media of Transformers, but the thing is that it just does not fit together.
yeah, and they even, like, with the the first episode of Season 1, where, Eon finds Spyro in the forest, like, in his egg or whatever, like...
Sorry, my mom was calling, so I had to go on.
Oh, you're good.
It's fine.
Yeah, it just, like, that doesn't correlate with either the thing that's in Spyro's, like, bio or to the Spyro games. Like, it didn't make sense. He has, like, 3 origins now.
Like, my problem with this show is, like, its tone. That sometimes they have some dramatic scenes that are pretty good, and then they get ruined by a joke.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good point. The tone could be better, but the pacing is great, though. It's quite a fast-paced show at most points.
Yeah, I didn't like it when, like, they have the dramatic scene when Spyro turns, like, evil, and then returns to the Dark Spyro, and then he says the parking spot joke.
Yeah.
And I'm like, really? you had had to put that in. Like, you could have just left it dramatic. I don't know.
You know, it would have been even better if Dark Sparrow didn't speak at all in Season 2, and then we got to hear his first line in Season 3.
Yeah, like, if they showed us, like, they just kind of showed him, and, I don't know, that would have been better. Like, I don't know.
I agree.
What do you guys think of the voice acting for that show? Like, the voices that they chose?
I think they chose pretty good voices. I think Spyro could have had a better voice actor, but apart from Spyro, really, I think the voices were fine. Oh, and Hugo. I hated Hugo.
Oh, yeah. I wasn't a big fan of Hugo and Eon at first. Like, for Eon, because he sounded, like, a lot different, you know?
Yeah, Hugo, I don't like his, and Wolfgang. I didn't like his voice acting.
Oh yeah, I completely forgot about Wolfgang. Yeah, that's another one I don't like. But I swear they've swapped out Wolfgang's voice actor for Season 3 anyway.
Yeah, that's good at least.
Oh, yeah. Because his voice acting, almost sounded like he was trying to make it, like, a parody or something. I don't know. It didn't sound real Wolfgang.
Voice gang. I like that.
Just because you expect him to be, like, really intimidating and stuff for his voice, and then they just kind of made it like a joke.
Yeah, I don't know. I also didn't like, Glumshanks at first, but
He grew on. So.
yeah, all of them kind of took some getting used to, but except for Eruptor, I like the Eruptor's voice from the start.
Oh yeah, Ruptor is by far the best change in voice actor. But of course, you know, Chaos has the same voice, and Chaos is so great.
The thing is, I don't know why they didn't just get the same voice actors from the games. Like, it could have been so much easier.
Yeah, but look at the games. They need to come in one afternoon and record 3 or 4 lines, but look at the TV show, how much they need to do in comparison.
I guess it's true, and, like, their characters are a lot different in the show, so...
Yeah, they sort of have different personalities and stuff.
Like Eon, like, I can't really imagine, like, the way Eon acts having the, you know...
Like his beard spray and everything.
I think that was, like, the worst episode, you know, when he, like, lost his beard, and then...
Oh, I hate that episode so much, honestly. I hate that one with a burning passion.
Episode I've seen of that show, because it's so, like, weird and cringy. I was never a fan of the beard spray song that he was singing, either. Oh boy! Like, it's kind of funny when it was leaked out, it showed some of the worst clips of the show.
Yeah.
So no wonder everybody, like, hated it at first. It was just something. I kind of found it odd. A lot of people were freaking out, saying that they were like, "Oh, Skylanders is over," because that they didn't confirm a 4th season yet for Skylanders Academy. And I'm thinking, well, what do you want? The 3rd season isn't even out yet. Why? Like, that doesn't mean it's canceled. They're not going to do it that early. I mean, they did for season 2 and 3, but still.
Can you imagine, though, if they didn't get, like, a 3rd season, and season 2 ended off on that cliffhanger? Can you imagine how that would have been?
Oh yeah, that would have kind of sucked.
So that's why I'm glad we're getting a season 3.
I don't know, like, it's kind of confusing, I guess, because you're like, well, we've never really seen that with Eon, and, like, what is he's Chaos's brother or something, or his father? I don't know.
Yeah, but put it like this though, I'm glad that it was aired on Netflix instead of like something like Cartoon Network, because no way would Cartoon Network have made it a 3rd season for it, and no way would have, and then you wouldn't have been able to binge watch it. You would have had to wait like over a series of a few days to watch every episode and stuff.
Why not as well on, on Cartoon Network? Oh, no. It seems like pretty much anything on Netflix gets renewed. Because I guess it's easier to get renewed on Netflix than it is on TV.
Speaking of Netflix, what's your favourite Netflix original? I really love Stranger Things.
Yeah, I was about to say Stranger Things for me.
I don't watch Netflix, so I have Netflix. I don't watch, like, like any shows on it though, so I guess Skylanders Academy because it's the only one I've seen.
I also really like the Marvel ones, though.
The what?
The Marvel ones.
Oh yeah, I haven't seen any of them, but I've heard that they're good. Like, I don't really know. I mean, do you guys, like, if they made a 7th game, would you guys be, like, as excited to play, or would you wait?
I would be more excited for a 7th Skylanders game at this point than what I have been for any Skylanders game, purely because of the, like, longer gap we've had for it.
Yeah.
Make me appreciate it more.
I think I'm with you. I'd probably be really hype about it, like, as it leads up to it, because, you know, I'd get to make all the videos again, and, like, you know, that's my favorite thing to do, is make the news videos, like, leading up to the game.
Like, I have more fun with the excitement of the game than the actual game.
Exactly, yeah, like, once the game came out, like, a month later, I would just be like, alright, whatever.
I was kind of dumb how people would be, like, right after people would beat the game right away, after, like, a few weeks, people would be looking for Skyland for the next game leaks and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, I beat Imaginators in 3 days.
Wow.
I did it on purpose because I knew that there were only 10 levels, which I was so annoyed by, because I wanted there to be... I missed it when there were so many levels, and the levels were short, too, so I spread it out, so I only did like 1 level a week or something.
Yeah, like, the first few games I did, and I didn't finish them until the next January or February or something, but then I got Instagram, and I got Twitter and YouTube, and so if I didn't finish it within the first 2 weeks, I felt like it would get spoiled for me.
Trap Team I didn't beat until February of 2015. And the only reason for that was because I got it on for PS3, but basically, literally 2 days after Trap Team came out, my PlayStation 3 broke. So, I couldn't play Skylanders Trap Team, so I had to wait till Christmas to get my Wii U, and then I waited 3 months later to get Skylanders Trap Team on the Wii U, and so basically I didn't beat the game until about February. And the worst thing was that I beat Chapter 17 on the PS3, and then I went to go and beat Chapter 18 on the PS3, and then I realised, oh shoot, it's broken.
I think the latest time I've beaten a Skylanders game was probably for Superchargers in, I think, April or something. And it's because I just didn't have the motivation to continue playing that game after, I think.
When I first played Superchargers, I thought it was like the best one of the franchise. I was like, yeah, Superchargers is my new favourite. But then I played it like a few extra times and then I realised, yeah, these vehicle sections are kind of bad after the first time through. Because that's the thing though, it's one of those games where it's really good for the first time through it, but then afterwards it just kind of gets kind of dull. And the same thing was for Imaginators, I feel.
Yeah, when I first played Imaginators, for me, I was like, this is probably my favorite Skylanders game. And then later I realized... Superchargers, though, I think had the best story for me.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Superchargers have the best story and the best soundtrack, I feel.
Yeah, the soundtrack was good. It's funny for me because I've always been a fan of cars. Like, I love cars, and I've always loved, like, racing games and things like that. So I was originally, like, really hyped for Skylanders. Like, my 2 favorite types of games are coming together. They just don't fit, though, at all.
Yeah, Cars was my childhood movie as well. Like, Cars was my favourite movie until, like, the age of 12 or something like that. I just adored it.
Yeah, me too. I love that movie.
Yeah, this is probably my favorite movie of all time. I don't know about that, but it's pretty close. Pretty close.
It's a good movie, but yeah, you're right. It doesn't really fit them at all.
Yeah.
It should have been maybe kind of just made them all optional or something.
Yes, I agree. I think for
Kinda like
all of the
Happy
vehicle
Feet.
sections should have been optional.
Yeah, and like Yeah, I know they tried to do that with like well, you really only need a land vehicle for the story, but you need to use it all the time. And if you're playing co-op with like your friend or your brother or something, you like
away from the fun.
yeah.
I was playing it with my friend, and we was always arguing over who should drive.
Yeah, exactly, because it's like the other person like does what, aims the thing and shoots pointless things.
Yeah, that was basically it.
Like, it would have been cool if they took that kind of doomsday story of superchargers and then put it on Trap Team. That would have been cool.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
That would be perfect. But I don't know. It just took away from the fun I found. I like the figures for the vehicles. Those are fun, but they just don't really fit as well.
I like the fact they didn't have bases, because you can't just introduce like vehicles that are perfect toys and then just make them have bases and make them be stationary. So I'm glad they didn't have bases.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was cool that you could, if it's a land vehicle, you could, you could drive it.
And that's why I hate Shield Striker so much, because the thing is that I love Shield Striker's design, and in-game, Shield Striker is my favourite vehicle, but as for the actual toy itself, it doesn't roll, so that's what I hate about it.
Oh yeah, it's really annoying, actually. It doesn't...
Yeah, some of them don't really roll well.
Like, if you have a sky vehicle, it's like, yay.
Great.
But I'm just gonna pretend to fly it around and look dumb.
I guess it's good for like the younger players, but they have to. That's another thing that I never really liked about Skylanders, is it never grew with its audience. Like, yeah, the first 3 games or so, they're like bringing in new people, but they have to realize at some point that their audience is going to generally be the same, so they have to take it up a notch.
I could almost seem they were kind of trying to do that, I guess, with the story of Superchargers, I guess, but then they just went downhill with that for Imaginators. And look at the advertisements for Imaginators, it's awful.
Exactly. Yeah, I know. It's like,
Alicia.
It's like, yeah, I made this Skylander from scratch. Look, he's gonna have
a fart joke or something in there, and it's just so dumb.
That's another thing I found interesting about Trap Team, though, because in Trap Team, a lot of the trailers had, like, teenagers playing it.
And they had, like, some cool cutscenes for it, like, cinematic stuff, too, for it, I guess. Like, animations.
Yeah, my favourite trailer from Skylanders is still that one with the tablet version of Skylanders Trap Team, where the kid is just like, yep, and then when the other person asks to play, he's just like, nope.
He's like, nope, yeah.
He is on that, yeah.
Because if they did grow with their audience, I mean, I'm not saying I want it to be, like, M-rated or something, but if they became just, like, more mature, because Imaginators, that the humor and everything that they have in there mixed with the story, it seems like it's made for a 5-year-old or something.
Exactly.
But put it like this, for what it does for its target audience, it's really good, because I have a lot of younger cousins, and they adore the games for them. Like, honestly, I've never seen 5-year-olds and 7-year-olds and stuff be more invested in a game before.
Yeah, but like, what 5-year-old, what 7-year-old is going to pick up the 7th game in a series when they are as old as the first game, and like they haven't played any of the other games? Who's gonna want to play this 7th game in a series when they have no background context whatsoever?
Yeah, the thing is that when my 6-year-old cousin came around saying how he loves Skylanders, I showed him all of the games, and he's like, wait, there's more? He only knew about Imaginators, he didn't know that there was other ones. And then I showed him Spyro's Adventure, and then I was like, this game is older than you, and he was like, whoa, so he wanted to play that one.
Yeah, that's crazy to think about. Like Spyro's Adventure is older than some of the kids that play Imaginators. That's kind of weird.
Well,
because it was like, it feels like it was only a few years ago.
Yeah. Well, I thought Imaginators was your favorite game or something, because I thought you made a video one time saying it.
No, I said why Imaginators is not the worst.
Oh, okay.
Or maybe it was like arguments why it would be the best game. It's not my favorite. Trap Team's my favorite, but I just don't think it's the worst game.
Yeah, like, I kind of, like, whenever we make our Imaginators Sucks, we kind of exaggerate a bit on how bad it is, but it's, like, it's definitely, it's not, like, anything great.
You have good points, though. Like, I watched your video, your series with Friday Night.
Oh, thanks, yeah.
You guys have good points. Like,
Well, like,
seriously.
watch the advertisements one.
Yeah, no, I've seen it.
Yeah, like, it's just, they're so bad, the advertisements. I don't know, like, what they were, like, what, even the kids that would watch that, if I was a kid and I saw that, I wouldn't want to get it.
Yeah, when it comes to my top 10 best
They want to
Skylanders
see
trailers, I don't think any Imaginators games are getting on it.
Yeah, I even remember when I was little, seeing, like, you know, the Nintendo ones we were showing, when I was younger, seeing those commercials and thinking that they were so cringy.
Yeah, Nintendo knows how to make the cringiest trailers.
Now
Even though
they're
Nintendo have listened to the fans, and Nintendo have actually grown up with their fans. Like, look at the Switch. The Switch markets towards teenagers, you know, the main demographic for video games. So if Nintendo can do it, why can't Activision?
Yeah. That's the thing. I mean, the thing is, for a new game, like, I guess, the main thing is that if the last game didn't make that much money, then inside their minds is like, there's no point in continuing it if it doesn't make any money, you know?
Yeah.
Like, they wouldn't make a game just out of the kindness of their hearts for the fans, you know, just to finish off the series. It just basically doesn't make money, no game, you know?
Yeah, but that's the thing though, Skylanders games still do make profit. It's not as much profit as they used to make, but they still do make it.
They could probably sell a lot more now that the Toys to Life genre is a lot smaller.
Yeah, I think that was the main problem with Superchargers. Like, look at how much competition Superchargers had.
Yeah. And just now, all the stuff, the only one that they really have is Amiibo and Starlink that's coming.
Yeah. Even though Starlink actually has a lot of hype behind it, so Starlink is actually looking pretty good.
Well, like, if that kind of proves that if Starlink, like, does really well and shows that Toys to Life can still really work, then maybe Skylanders, like, Activision can see, oh, okay, it's profitable again, and then they just start making another game.
Yeah, that would be good to see. People have asked me to play Starlink, and I'm just like, yeah, I'm tight on money due to Skylanders alone, so I'm not getting Starlink as well. But that's literally the only reason why I'm not getting it, because I love Skylanders, but it is blooming expensive.
It kind of seems like Skylanders Jet Warriors now, because they're just like jets in space.
Yeah, I mean, I haven't paid much attention to anything with Starlink. I don't even think I've seen that many videos on it.
I've seen the trailer, and that's it.
Mm-hmm. Just, I don't know, something about Imaginators that I found always off or weird is how they downgraded their animation.
Oh, yeah. I mean, look at how beautiful Superchargers looks, and then look at Imaginators in comparison.
Chaos looks so bad in that game.
The thing though, is that they use the same engine, so why the hell on the same engine does Imaginators look worse?
Yeah, I don't know why. Like, Chaos looked, like, really good in Superchargers, and I don't know.
Superchargers is my favourite iteration of Chaos, by far.
Hmm. Well, because finally, like, in that game, you were like, they changed it up to be like, okay, Chaos is finally won, so it's interesting to see.
And we also saw a different side to Chaos. We saw a side to Chaos that actually cared. He cared about Glumshanks. He cared about the well-being of Skylands. Like, he didn't want to see Skylands destroyed. He just wanted to conquer it.
And Imaginators is kind of just, he didn't learn anything from that. He just went back to being regular Chaos.
Yeah.
When you think about it, that game, the story for that game could just be anywhere in the timeline and nothing would really change.
I actually did a theory on that as well. Like, a while back, I did, like, a portals theory about how, like, each portal represents a different dimension and stuff. And because Imaginators can use all portals, it can be put, like, anywhere on a timeline and stuff. So, yeah, I actually did a theory like that a while back.
Oh, yeah, I just thought, like, what if the Imaginator story is, like, it could explain why the Skylanders are still there? Like, what if it was, like before Spyro's Adventure, but again, Eon's dead, so that wouldn't make sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, for a second I got kind of excited because I'm like, oh, that's kind of neat, but then, yeah, I know, it's not what they were.
I never really, I don't know, I never really understood that, why they went from Eon's floating head to he's now alive.
Oh, yeah. Well, he looks horrible in the game, even though he only appeared for 7 seconds. You know, in Imaginators.
Oh, yeah! Didn't they, like, make his eyes smaller or something like that? Because that's what it seemed like.
He looked odd. He looked terrible.
Yeah?
I really don't know. Like, it's just something about him that looked really bad. And what else was there?
I wonder if they'll put that in the Academy, Eon's
Yeah.
death.
I wonder, though, like, it never made sense how the Skylanders were, like I've said inside some of the videos, how they were there, even though it's like they were banished. I didn't get it, why they were there.
Yeah, I mean, Portmaster 951 made a pretty good video on that the other day.
Oh, right, I think I saw.
Like, why do they keep getting banished, and how do their Series 2s and 3s come into light cores, and what about superchargers? What the heck happened with that? Rift engines? Like, none of it makes any sense.
Oh, it's money.
Exactly.
It's money. I think I'm gonna have to go now, because...
Yeah, me too. I was about to say I'm gonna have to...
Yeah, I have to go.
Yeah, that's okay, guys. Thanks for coming in.
Thanks for having me on for this.
Yeah, no problem.
Right, okay, so... Goodbye.
See you then, guys.
I guess.
Adios, yeah. Thanks for having me on, man. Appreciate it.
Bye-bye, guys. Thanks for being here.
Okay, bye.
That's it. Good luck with the rest of the Let's Play.
Yeah.
Alright, see you, bro.
Okay, so which one of you is still here? Because now I've lost track of who's here and who's not.
I'm the only one still here.
Cool.